Well, there's been a lot that's happened in the last 2.5 years. We'll start with that. The inheritance tax on two small businesses, family farms, and small businesses themselves has been eliminated by the legislature. I get to sign a bill and propose legislation, but I don't get to pass it. And that is going to be beneficial to all small businesses that are going to be passed down through the family through an inheritance tax process. That's a great deal of money being saved. For new small businesses, there's a startup tax deduction of $5,000, consistent with what the federal government has. So I believe that that's very important. We have almost completely now phased out the capital stock and franchise tax. Not quite as fast as I'd like to get it there, but getting closer, which is going to help the tax basis many people pay on. If you file, even though a small business, if you file with corporate net income tax, we've gone to a single sales factor, eliminating the number of employees and the assets, that portion of the tax, and just doing it based on sales. And then finally, as many people know, we're a pretty litigious society, and we've had some tort reform where we actually finally got the Fair Share Act passed and signed by me back more than a year ago. So if you combine all of these, I think that small business is in much better shape now than they were 4 years ago here in Pennsylvania.
And looking to the future with this fall session, I think small businesses would be worried about any debt incurred by the state. And I know you're concerned about that too. How would you reflect upon what's going to happen and how we can keep within our budget?
Well, the most important is to answer it by what you end it with. We have to keep within our budget, and that's exactly what we have been trying to do since I've taken office. Rather than continue to spend beyond our means, spend within our means, and we will continue to do that.
And so do you expect then that pension reform will ultimately, because that's a big one?
Pension reform is a big one. I know a lot of people in the legislature have a difficult time with it. Many people say it's just too hard to do. Frankly, in my opinion, it's too hard not to do for the future, for our children in the future.
And any other message to small business owners who are out there in PA?
Keep working, as I know you're working, and we hope you're able to grow and hire more people.